Welcome to Hobby Clubhouse and happy birthday! It's the 1-year anniversary of the channel, which quietly started on September 2nd, 2020, even though the first video wasn't uploaded until a week later or so after that, which was the P Bandai F92. So for this occasion, I'm gonna say some thanks first in case some of you guys get bored and leave, and then I'm gonna tell you guys 2 stories about this channel, and then talk about some birthday wishes for the coming year. And to make things less boring visually, I'll be showing you gameplay footage from this guy right here, SD Gundam 2 for the Super Famicom, which is one of the best games that I sure hope you've played before. And you see this mark right here? This means that this was made by a company called Angel, but when you watch enough of my videos, you'll know that this square with the round corner means it's really just Bandai. It's not a coincidence that it looks like this. Anyway, one day I'll properly introduce you to this game in a proper video. I'll be playing as Hyakushiki because of course it has to be him. Of course, the first thanks will always go to that special person who supported me at the start and was there for me through the first 100 and so much more. I can't ever thank that person enough, and every video ever and every video that ever will be in part dedicated to you. So first of all, thank you so much. And then it's all the many of you who took the time to tell me that you like and appreciate the content. I'm gonna come back to you guys a little bit more in the story part, but it is super important that I know this very particular and specific form of Gundam and model content is meaningful to you guys, and it's not just me being indulgent, although being indulgent is a big part of it, but thank you. And then it's all the people who chat in the comments, and there really are a whole bunch of you guys who show up every time in every single video. Even if it's stuff that's not necessarily up your alley, you guys stop by and comment. I said it in the last thank you video, but it's still a luxury that I have right now, where I can chat with everyone in the comments, except for some jerks who are rude. It's always fun no matter if you're agreeing, disagreeing, or asking when I'm gonna finish the Zazabi build video, and you know, thank you guys. And next are the people who watch my videos and who may not have stopped by to chat, but I know there's still a lot of you guys who are lurking around, you know, maybe you're just shy or something, but still, you guys get a thank too. I don't know how you found my channel, probably from the Gundam marker video because that outpaces every single other video I ever made, but anyway, why ever you're here, thank you. And then it's all the people who have tolerated my weird upload schedule, or more like the lack of a schedule. The people who are patient when I devote my time to less popular and less mainstream things like doing the Dragon Gundam video and the 80s retrospective, because Lord knows I take my sweet time when I make my videos. You know, people say my stuff is comprehensive and people say that it's informative, but no one ever says my stuff is fast, because it really isn't. So thank you to all you guys who stick around and tolerate my indulgence until I get around to the stuff you really love, so thank you so much. Okay, so story time. The first story is about the channel almost dying at its very birth. So here is some footage from the first video I was making for the channel on September the 3rd, a day after I registered this channel, and this was supposed to be a build of the revived Zaku. Now you've never seen this video because it was never completed. In the middle of shooting, I lost my computer, like literally the entire computer tower, along with my phone. I had 2 of them and I lost them both. They were just taken. Just like that, my entire means to make videos was just taken out and the channel just got its legs chopped off. It's strange and complicated how that all came to be, but you'll just have to contend with a vague version of it right here. But anyway, my PC was a pretty good one, and I was going to rely on making good videos. And really, at that point, I wondered if I could really go ahead with this channel at all. I hadn't made anything yet, so I really had to think hard if it was something I could push ahead with. So I dug around and somehow my Surface Pro tablet escaped the apocalypse, and every single Hobby Clubhouse video you've seen up to this day has been handled by this little guy who is seriously not made for work like this. I went around my home and I gutted every hard disk I could find, and they're now attached to this poor thing by USB. It's a terribly inefficient setup with a lot of problems, but I've learned to coax it to work. But yeah, all this time I've been working with a cobbled together mix of hardware, and it's quite a nightmare, but I've figured out well enough for now. But do give the Surface Pro a nice little thank you for how hard he's worked during the past year. And story number 2, where on earth did Hobby Clubhouse come from? So the channel seemingly came out of nowhere, right? To this day, I still get comments from new subscribers telling me that they're surprised to discover Hobby Clubhouse that popped out of nowhere. Now, it's kind of sad when you really think about it, but people get that impression really because the YouTube Gundam model community is really woefully underdeveloped, even with about like a decade now since the very first prominent members came about. It's still mostly shoot and talk videos that's just one straight on shot from start to finish, and the vocabulary and the flow and the format of the videos are all from the days of All Roberts to R2Bs, and I suspect what many of you guys are finding odd about Hobby Clubhouse is simply that I decided to address all the lazy habits that I've accumulated among the content creators over the years. I'm sure if you think about it, there is a list of things that you've noticed too and you just tolerated. I simply want to make videos that I would enjoy myself, so 1 year later, here we are. Well, okay, so what can we look forward to in the year ahead? Well, for one, the hiatus is still a thing and it's gonna fall sometime within this year. I still don't know how that's gonna go, but I'm stockpiling videos for you guys to tide us over during that period. And that aside, for feature videos, I've been trying to get model stores to do interviews with me and bring you guys along to visit some traditional Hong Kong model stores. I haven't had much luck with that yet, but I'm still picking at it whenever I can. I have no clue if that can ever be a thing, but I'm trying. I'm also putting together a gym development history feature video. If only I can get a darn gym code district type and a gym command. It's just not the same talking without the stuff, and I just use stuff I steal off the internet, but I'm not putting myself past that if I never get the kits. So for reviews, the closest to us are the Goof reviews, with 2 full reviews and 1 entirely new format of reviews. Other mainstream kits include the Gundam Ground type, old and new, and the Gym Ground type 2. There's the BB Senshi Wing Gundam EW, which is actually all finished and waiting for a time slot. There's also the first grade Gundam and the Zaku's, which I really need to get out there because people keep buying those things and they keep thinking they're for beginners when they're not. But for now, I'll shut up here because I don't want to say a bunch of stuff and end up not being able to do it. This is all just stuff that I know with some certainty that I'm gonna do. Anything else, you know, you'll see it when it comes. But really, that's it. I don't want to take up too much of your time for just a birthday message, and also, I don't want to spend too long editing this, and I didn't write a script for any of this, so I want to stop while I'm ahead. So that's year 1 for Hobby Clubhouse, and I'm so glad you can be here for it all. We're still a super small channel and a pretty exclusive little club, so let's see where we'll be in a year from now. Time to get back to work. Thank you so much for watching during this year, and I'll see you next time.